Now we are discussing the classification of data structure. Well, talking about the classification of data structure, we are having two types. One is the linear and second one is the non-linear. Here the linear and non-linear are mentioned inside the list because list can be linear and non-linear. But yes, data structure is of linear as well as non-linear. So the first one we are having is the linear data structure. Well, talking about the linear data structure, there the elements are into some sequence. The sequence can be the user input or maybe in the sending order, any order that depend upon the program or maybe the user. So that is the linear data structure. And even the linear is having the further categories, which is the sequential or the pointer. So that we will discuss. So first of all, we are going into the some detail of linear data structure. Here we can say that elements form sequence. Means there is some kind of sequence which the elements are going to form. Maybe the user has entered four numbers, let us suppose 4, 5 and 6, and those four numbers are shown to the user directly as 4, 5, 6 in the same order. So that can be the linear data structure. Then there are two ways of representation. So we are having two ways of representation. That means the linear data structure can be represented into two forms. The first form is the sequential and the second form is pointer. Pointers are sometimes also called the links. So links or the pointer both are having the same meaning. Well, talking about the sequential. Sequential means they are into the proper sequence. So I am giving you one example of the sequential and the example is array. And talking about the pointer, I am giving you the example. The example is linked list. That topic is very much important as per the data structure, linked list. Now, what are the array and what are the linked list? Now I am telling you. First I am giving you the example of array. Now we know that, let us suppose that we are having the elements, we assume 7, 8, 6, 5. So these are the four elements. Now assumingly we are having the memory. Let us suppose that this is the memory. Now in this memory there are certain blocks. Now here the all blocks are empty. Supposingly, I am assuming all the memory is free. Now here I want to store this data 7865. If I store this data sequentially, means sequence order like 7, 8, 6 and 5 into the sequence, then this is called the sequential and this is the example of the array. So this is the example of array. Now what do you mean by the sequential? I am making you understand. We have assumed that the memory is free and all the memory is having their address. Let us suppose that this is having the address 101, 102, 103, then continuing 104, 105, 106, 107, 108 and 109. We know that whenever we are going to assign any memory, that memory is having the address. So 101 to 109, these are the addresses. And let us suppose that the memory is free. So sequence wise, from 101 to 104, we have used all the memory. That means 101, 102, 103 and 104. So these memory locations we have used, and we have stored our number, which are 7865, into the sequence. So this is called the sequential memory allocation. Means whenever you are going to increment the memory, you can see that 101 after 102 after 103 and 104. So they all are into the sequential address. There is no gap in between. So whenever we are going to assign the sequential memory, that is called the array. So array is the example of sequential memory allocation, but this is not case which is always possible. The memory will not always be free. So there we are having the second concept, which is the pointer or the linked list. Now I'm taking the same example to make you understand the pointer and the linked list, which is very important into the data structure. Let us suppose that we are having the same memory which we have discussed before, the same type of space is available till now. I am giving the same addresses to these memory. Let us suppose that their addresses are 101, 102, 103, 104. These are the memory addresses. These are not the values. These are the memory location address where the memory is actually present. So 107, 108 and 109. Same example which we have opted earlier. Supposingly this time the memory is not free. Let us suppose that this is already filled with some other value. Maybe some of the other person have used this space, or maybe this is again used by some other person. Again, assuming this one is also not free, and this is also not free. Now you can see that if I take the array in this case, then there we are not having the 4 consecutive blocks where we can store the values. We know that the values we have taken are 7865 as in the previous case, and in the array we have seen that there was the sequential access. Sequential means everything was into the sequence and the values were stored. But here you cannot find 101, 102, 1034 consecutively. So in this case, sequential memory allocation is not possible. Means array cannot be declared here. So that means there is a wastage of memory? No, we have the solution. The solution is whatever the space available, 7, 8, you just give them 6, 5. So there the spaces are available and we have given them the values which are available. So 7, 8, 6, 5 we have given, but now there is no as such provision by which we can take out this random values, because we cannot say that 101 give the increment of 1 we will get 102. No. So just like the array, the index values are not possible here. Just like in the array example we have seen, all the memory are into sequence. Only because of that the array is having the index values. Only because of that we can create the for loop with the array. Just like the first is having the index 0, second is having the index 1, index 2 and index 3, and even we apply the for loop on the array. But the for loop is again not possible with the pointer or the linked list. So dynamic memory allocation or maybe the random memory allocation, whatever we are giving here, their for loop cannot be applied. So what can be done? You see, we are using the concept of pointer here. So here we are using the concept of pointer. Now you see, let us suppose that there is a pointer which is starting from here. Now this pointer is pointing to the memory location of first block. Afterward, there is one more pointer which is going to point to the next memory. Again afterward, we are having a pointer which is going to point the another block memory, and again we are having a pointer which is going to point the last memory, and afterward we are mentioning the stop. So that is the concept of the linked list. But here using the pointer we are giving the overhead. What do you mean by the overhead? Please pay attention. This time we are having the 4 blocks just like the array. The first block is this 7. This is the second block 8. This is the next block which is 6, and this is the next block which is 5. We are going to store the same values here 7, 8, 6 and 5. They are not into the sequence as I have said, but we need the pointer also. So now there is a start pointer which is having the address of first block. Now this first block should be having the address of second block so that we can go to the second block. That means more space is required. This block is having extra space for the pointer. Remember one thing, the first part is the data part. Data part means where we are having the data. So 7, 8, 6, these all are the data. 5 is the data. Earlier we are having in the array was normally data, but here the pointer is also required and pointer needs some memory. So we are having the pointer part also. Some people say it is the pointer part, some people say it is the link part. So whenever we will go to the linked list into detail, then we will see. So but I am mentioning it is a pointer. So everywhere I am mentioning that each block is having the pointer space. So here we are having the pointer space everywhere. The data part is having the value as 7 and the pointer part is having the address of next block. Next block means second block is having the data part as value 8 and their pointer part contain the next block address. Similarly, next block contain the value as 6 and their pointer part contain the address of next. Whenever we are reaching to the last, so last pointer is having the stop, or we can say null. Null means there is nothing afterward. So that is called the linked list. If I compare the linked list with your array, then you can see that in the array we are normally having the data. So 7 is the data, 8 is the data, 6 is the data, and 5 is the data. And most important, all the data is into the sequence. Just a simple order, just like address 101, 102, 103, 104. That's why we can give the index values. But this is not possible with the linked list. So this is the example which I have opted is the linked list. And the advantage of linked list is that linked list can have even the spaces even it is not available. Let us suppose that the sequential space is not available. Till then the linked list can take out the values. So that is more important for us. If we are having some residual space, the space is not available, till then we can use that space. So that is important with the linked list. And linked list is having two parts. One is the data and one is the pointer. So if I compare the linked list with the array, then it is having the overhead of the pointer. So every block is having the pointer, and this pointer need more memory. That's why the linked list is very much complex as compared to array in terms of memory, in terms of using it. The array is normally int a5 is equal to something, but in the linked list you cannot declare like this. Every block need a pointer. So that is the linked list. But linked list is very much beneficial and very much into the market because of the memory. If the memory is not there, still we can create the linked list out of the remaining blocks. So that is about the linear data structure.